What's up, guys? Welcome back. So today we got Demon Slayer Tengen Uzui Sound Pillar. So it's that scene where he's lost his arm and he's fighting Gyotaro and he's blocked the blade sort of with his sword, blocked Gyotaro's with that circular part of his sword, right? So I'm on a landscape page. You use a pencil and an eraser for these. Sketch them lightly. You can erase your mistakes with the pencil. You can't erase mistakes with this. Not really, anyway. So that's what I suggest. And ink on top. Right. So it's kind of a challenging sort of drawing. Two swords, two hands. Right. So a lot of detail and things. Right. So take your time. Try to have fun. So head isn't bang in the middle because I wanted to fit in the sword on the right hand side. So this is like the middle part where I usually draw the head. The head is like maybe slightly over this way, I'd say. Right, so center line horizontally, center point here, horizontal here. Right, so just above this center point is where we're going to draw his first eye. Right, so let's just go for it. So we're going to curve a line. Like so. And then it will kind of spike a little bit and hook down. And his eyes are real wide right in this, so it goes down into there. Okay, and in Demon Slayer, you can see the sort of tear duct in here, like that. Okay, that's our shape for the eye. And what you want to do then is thicken up the top eyelid. Just want to add some extra marks to it, make it thicker. And just down the corner line here as well. Just a little bit. Kind of like that. And then his iris, just in here. Now his eye, he doesn't have a pupil, right? It's just sort of shaded purple color. So I'll just leave that empty. And then veins in his eye, right? So he's, it's heat of battle. He's been beat up pretty bad. So, stressed out. So the other eye, just across here, and we've got a head tilt, right? So that means this eye starts kind of higher up. It's not like perfectly flat, just a little bit up. Make sure I'm recording this. Sometimes I start drawing and I'm not recording, so just gotta make sure I'm recording. I have completed full drawings and I realized I never hit record. So anyway, it's a horrible feeling. And then curve this up and around like so. And this is again spiky and then comes down around here. And we can see his tear duct just in there. And then you want to thicken up the top eyelid a little bit. So just adding some extra weight to it. Sort of like that. And then the iris. Like so. Add a few veins. Like so. Okay, so there is some lines on his nose and things, right? So the nose, we're gonna go, what way? We'll do sort of the side of the nose here, maybe a nostril just there. And then the lines on the nose are like these hatching sort of lines. There's only a few of them like that. And then he'll have some wrinkles just here coming across the nose. It's not much drawn in, like so. And then we'll do some eyelid lines just here. So like coming across like that and this way. And he doesn't really have eyebrows, right? There's just sort of these hatching kind of lines that go this way and this way. They're kind of like eyebrows, but they're not really. Okay. So, maybe some stress lines just around his eye as well. So his sword is in his mouth, right? So we can just see his teeth just underneath his nose here. So we go up, down, around like that. And then the teeth are biting the handle of the sword. Right, so you can just see like the top of the teeth. And then the sword comes across his face. Right, so we'll go that way. That way. It meets Gyotaro's somewhere here, but we'll just do it like that first. Like if you want, you can use a ruler for this, but his sword is kind of bumpy. It's not exactly straight, so. So it's not the end of the world, really, if we're not perfectly straight. Go to about there. And then it has like a corner, so it has like an edge there. And so you bring a line just to there. And so, right, so this will go up to there, and then across. Like that. And then there's diamonds on it, so it's got these samurai-like diamond sort of shapes going down it. And maybe like some extra sort of lines here coming in between. This is actually like a rope that's kind of wrapped around the handle, but it's just represented by these V sort of shapes here. Okay. Okay. So the rest of his face, right? So we can see like the line, the middle line for his face is here, and we can just see the rest of his chin just coming down. Just there, okay? Just underneath the handle of the sword. And then his jaw will go this way, up beside his eye. There. It meets some hair or something here. But that's the general shape, and then up this way as well. It kind of gradually curves. Around like that. I think he has a cut taken out of his face. Is that like slice taken out of his face? I can't, it's hard to see. I'm not sure really. Okay, well, we have all those patterns and things on his face around his eye as well. So we might as well draw some of those in. They're done with color, so I'll just draw them in just so we can see them. So these little circles. So like another little circle here. So these little ones, 2, 3 of them. 4, 5, right? Like that. And then there's large ones around. So what I mean is, there's like a big one here. Like that, and then another there, and then another one here. Another one here. And then there should be another one, I think, in this corner, but it's underneath hair, right? So he has like a hair spike that comes down across his eye. So I guess I'll just draw that first. Like there. And then it'll go back up. Around the back of his head that way. There, okay, and you can erase any lines you go over, sort of in here. Just join that to there. So then his headband comes across, right? So it'll come across his head. And then of course there's more hair, but we'll draw the headband in first. Coming across here. And it'll go up around this way. It's kind of like a Naruto headband kind of shape. Right, like that. And has all jewels on it. So one sticks out the side here. So flashy. And it has an angle to it there with some lines going that way. Right, and then 3 more, well, 2 more big ones and then 3 more small ones. And then all these lines sort of breaking up the edge. Like that, and then we go again. You want to do your angles for these now, sort of changing direction. So like cross, down, down, and then lines going out from the corners to the edge. Like so, and 3 more here. Some lines coming around the edges. Right, and then I think he does have a scar coming in across his face, or a slice taken out of his face or something. So I'm just going to draw that in, okay, like a cut just there. And then like some dirt marks and some sweat. And there's another piece of hair that comes down the middle of his face. It kind of comes across this eye, spikes down, and then back up to there, and this has like texture lines. And again, if you go over anything, you just erase your lines inside here that you shouldn't see. So that's like a hair spike here. Let me see some more hairlines here. And another piece of hair that comes across this way. Like so, and another one that'll come out from the side of his head here. So, right, and then we can see ears just here. So, coming out from, say, here, curving around down to there. And he's got earrings. 1, 2. And his earlobe just there. And then cartilage lines, ear lines inside. Like that. And then the other ear we can see less of, so it comes out from underneath his hair there. And again we have lines there. Like so. Hair sticks out here, goes back in. Then the rest of his head, it goes around the top of this headband, right? So, and it's all sort of folded and like there's bandages and everything. So let's say we'll go out from here first. Diagonal. Down. There. Lines in here. Some more. I don't know if it's hair or bandage on for these, but we'll just draw them in and not ask too many questions. Right, like so, and then more lines here for hair. Right, so another hair spike here. Sort of flying out this way. Another one here. And back in to there. That. Okay. So, what now? So I guess we'll do the sword that's going this way. Okay. So the handle of his sword comes out from here, right? So we go up, in, sort of bumps up again, comes around, a lot of angles, sort of steps down, step out again, down again, and this will go into here. So in drawings like this, there's always loads of detail, so really take your time and pause when I move my hand. So then this goes up like so. And then we have an edge line to it. So what that means is that you just sort of go around this edge, following the shapes again. So this goes up, in, up, down to there, down around, out, in, down, out to there. There's like some colors and patterns or something inside here. Hard to see. I think there's like another golden sort of section to it here. So then his blade will come out and off my page, right? So it'll go real big, crazy big. That way. There's another one here. Just trying to figure this out now. So the bottom of it will go like that. And then it'll go in. Did I go too long? Maybe that's too big. I think that's, oh yeah, that's too big. So sorry. So that should be a little bit shorter. Sorry. So it goes, we'll go there. And then it kind of spikes that way. So I'll erase that. And then we have the circle shape around the base of the blade. Like so. And then something else around here. And I'll just erase this. And we've like a waving sort of line on the sword. So there's another sort of edge sort of to the sword here, and then bumping sort of line going up here. And I'll just make this sharper a little bit. And I'll color this black because it is a shadow, so it'll just help us see what's going on. His arms are kind of crossed, right? And the other blade is here. Maybe we'll do the other blade first. Yeah, I'm going to do that other blade first. So this is going to go down like that, right? And then the bottom of it comes out here around. And then it goes up that way. Circular section. Right, and this goes in behind Gyotaro's thing, and then the other side of the blade comes out here. Right, and then we have Gyotaro's blade bumping out here, right? So it's kind of like, it's a scythe, but it like has some bumps on it, so it like curves out like this. And then it'll bump out from here. And it's kind of this random sort of bumping stuff. And it goes in underneath here. It comes out for a spike. Out here somewhere. And back in. You got the bottom of the side there. The bottom of his sword goes in then that way. And then this has like some patterns on it. So say like this oozing sort of stuff. So I'm kind of copying the image as best I can. I'm not being too careful. I'm just kind of getting these bumps and blobs and things drawn in just as best as I can. So this goes around then into his hand somewhere back here, and you got all these bumps and stuff like that. And then there's like a red section that comes along, bright red, comes along here down the handle. Another sort of oozing thing coming across here. Waving part of the sword. And right, so I'll do Gyotaro's hand just here down the corner, right? We'll get all the hard sort of bits out of the way first and then join everything up together. We have his thumb, just here, skin fold there. The back of the thumb comes down to the back of the hand. Down that way, and then one knuckle, two, and a third. We can only see three. His index finger must be around the other side. So yeah, okay, so little finger, pinky, here, that way. And he's got just these square sort of fingernails. Kind of simply drawn hands, these. No major, just fingernails there. And then the palm of his hand. Down around into there, and then the other finger is just like in here somewhere. And then the handle of his sword, so this is like the palm of his hand, and the handle of the sword is out from his hand there. And it's like a bone, so like bumps around 3 times. Goes up behind Tengen's sword and then down that way. And then we have some more bumping shapes on the inside of the handle. Sorry now if I'm going really fast, but it's a complicated drawing, so I'll move my hand. Like that. And then he has his wristband that we can just see here in the corner. This image is really easy to find, by the way, if you're wondering where I got it. Wristband just comes off there. You just type in Uzui or Tengen blocks Gyotaro's blade, and this comes up on Google search. And so then, like, yeah, so his wrist will go, so the wrist will go off my page like that way, and then the wristband cuts across the wrist here. And we can just see the underside of it there. And then he has these patterns on them. Like so. Right, so the bottom of this sword, the hilt's kind of like this sort of shape. Do that, so it's just turned a different way. So it comes across there. Step down, across, step down, across, step down. Goes in behind his knuckles, right? So in there. And then his hand is here. So it'll go like up. Knuckle there, finger comes down. Like so, and around. And then next finger there. And this is the one where he has the ring. The silver sort of thing. That goes back to the back of his hand. And then some like knuckle lines. Things like that. There. And then his wrist here. It has two golden sort of bandages or bracelets around it. And then an edge line on this. Like that. And then some more patterns inside here. Okay, so there's some chain hanging down from the sword here, right? So coming down just from the handle of his sword, sort of hanging down from it here. Chains are always annoying to draw, so links like this, okay? Coming around one another, so you leave these gaps, right, to draw. They're interlinked, okay? So they have another side to them, basically, here. Right, and this side comes down into there, and then this side down. Like this kind of thing, right? So, and then the back side of this one. Down that way. And this one here. Kind of like that. Okay, and then so his arms are crossed and he's got blood coming out of one of them here. So I guess we'll get his shoulder in. So curves down this way. And then he's got his waistcoat coming across the shoulder here. Big massive shoulder muscles go behind that way. And then it'll come down like so. And then he has a big shoulder bracelet kind of thing across his bicep here. This bumps out like so, like that. And then it comes around his arm down to there. And then this comes back around his arm. Back around up to here. And he has, you know, the poison sort of on his shoulder. So he's got these lines for the poison coming down his arm along his shoulders. And you could have some sort of shoulder muscle bicep lines just here. And like just some squiggly sort of things on this. There's not a lot of detail even in the anime on this. They just, because I guess they're animating it, so they just do these sort of squiggly lines on his arm like that. And then this arm comes down across to a bloody stump, right? So So the bloody stump is here, just underneath this part of the sword, and then his forearm there, and then his bicep. You can just see some of it here, like bicep muscle there, and then his tricep comes down, goes off the bottom of my page, and then the underneath of his arm down off my page there. So real big forearm, and then muscle lines on his forearm, scratch marks and things, and then blood on the end of his arm. Now this is coloured in, it's not drawn in, but I'll draw it in, and there's more blood in his face, but I'll colour that in. And then his other arm going in this way. So he's got that other, so say, where's his shoulder on this side? Underneath that hair. There. And then another sort of shoulder line here somewhere. And some more sort of veiny poison lines there, and then the shoulder line curves down to there, and then bumps around that bracelet, which goes around here. Around his bicep, down into there, and then curves around his arm here. Another line for the edge of that here. Another edge line on that here, and then the inside of his shoulder, big there, bicep line, bicep there, and some more sort of vein lines like so. And then so the middle line for his uniform there, with some buttons, button there, directional lines on the clothing, and some of those waving lines like so. And side of his body here comes out down to there, and like the underneath of this arm going this way. And then there is a headband or something waving off this way. And blood coming out of his arm. I will draw this in just so. So, and maybe another piece of fabric going that way. Like that. That's his shoulder. And as much sort of scratch marks on him as you want, you know, dirt and scratches and stuff on his blade. There is writing here, but I don't think I'll be able to do that, to be honest. It's very complicated. Feel free to look that up if you want to add that to his sword. Sparks flying, all that kind of stuff. So that is how to draw Tengen Uzui. I think he has a crack in his headband, just after noticing that. Won't end yet. Coming along here. Right. So now, I think that's everything. Just make sure, yeah. Okay, pretty complicated one. Hope it was helpful, guys. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.